How's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Dude, you got a good setup there. You got the sound deafening panels.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I've been working on the I was a lot into the gaming before the airsoft, so that's why there's all
Did
of
you
this.
like Twitch streaming and stuff?
I did some. I played video
Kick?
games competitively for a short period of time.
Oh, like BattleNet? What'd you play on?
Uh yeah, yeah, like I played COD competitively for a short period of time, so
Yeah, yeah. Dude, uh years and years and years ago. Okay, a long time ago. When BattleNet first started, uh me and some guys started Gears of War. This is the original Gears of War. Okay,
right.
this is how long ago it was. We gamed through game battles in
Right, yeah.
BattleNet. Okay, and we played tournaments through there. We sucked, but but we had a lot of fun. It
Right.
was really cool. Yeah, and that's how we competed through the through that system. Yeah.
hmm
So you did COD.
Yeah, it was like a really short period of time. I played for like a
Yeah.
small org and stuff, but it was a good time, but I just didn't have the time I needed to devote to it type deal. So,
It's full time, man.
oh yeah.
These guys you're playing against are insanely good,
Oh yeah.
and the teams are insanely good. Like they practice and they
Right.
coordinate and we were in the same boat, kind of. We would play, we would play regular games in Gears
Right.
of War, and we would play on the same team and whatever. So we thought we were really good because we're playing in the regular servers,
Right.
and then you go to a tournament and you're like, holy shit, okay, next
Yeah, it's
level,
night and
bro.
day for sure.
Yeah. So, well, introduce yourself, man, and uh let everybody know how you and I met, and then how you got in airsoft, and we'll go from there.
Alrighty, so my name's Luke. I go by Howie TV. I've been making airsoft videos for realistically about a year and a half now. I've been playing airsoft for about 9 years. So I've been playing for a really long time. The way I found out about you is I saw you were interviewing all my friends. So I was like, wow, I mean, you guys all have really good conversations. Like my buddy Mr. OT, Brim, Admin Airsoft, a bunch of guys out there
Yes.
that I talked to, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how can I be a part of this? So that's kind of why I'm here.
Dude, I'm so glad you brought those guys up. Shout out to Mr. OT. Congratulations, Mr. OT, on your channel on Roku, and getting listed on this these kind of platforms that he just posted about yesterday. And
Right.
then Brim, man, shout out to Brim and Lance, who's over there as well,
Yeah.
and Admin Airsoft. Love all you guys, man. Evan, yeah, shout out, man. Big
Yeah,
time.
definitely a bunch of genuine dudes. I'm really looking forward to it because I actually get to meet Evan Admin Airsoft here at the Six Flags event here in September. So super stoked about
Oh,
that.
dude,
Um, so, but yeah,
awesome.
I've got to meet Will, Brim, because I'm in the Midwest, so I've got
Okay.
to link up with all those guys. But Admin Airsoft, I'm definitely really excited to meet him and hopefully shoot him at some point at Six Flags.
Good luck. The guy's good. Okay. I'm telling you,
I've heard.
he's good. All right. So if you can land a shot on him, good on you. But yeah, Evan, appreciate you, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
these guys, man, all these guys that I've had on, honestly, every single person I've had on this podcast, and it's a lot. There's a lot of people, are honorable, stand up, good people that I would love to hang out with outside of airsoft, outside of that
Right.
sport, outside of the hobby. Uh, just yeah, good all people
Oh
for
yeah,
real.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean that's part of the fun of airsoft. You all go out there and then you got to hit the local restaurant afterwards and then like Just talk about the day and where all you got shot and where all your whelps are at. I mean, it's just
For real, bro. Yeah, I used to do that too. When I played paintball, we did the same thing. It was after the game, we're comparing welts and we're telling stories about those individual, firefights or,
right.
this
Yeah.
contact points or whatever. So it becomes really fun and you build a lot of camaraderie that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when did you start airsoft? Like, where did you grow up? Do you have siblings? Did somebody get you into airsoft or paintball?
So it was actually my sister's best friend, her dad, actually. He was ex-military and he got out and he like really liked all the gear. Um, like I want to say shooting people, not like actually, but like he's like, I like the gear, and airsoft's a way to do that, go dress up and do that kind of stuff. So he was like, yeah, and we found the local field, which it sucks because the closest field to me is ACS Airsoft in Paducah, Kentucky, and that's still an hour away. So
Nice.
that is unfortunate, but it I'm at a point now where I'm driving down there just about every weekend and it starts to fly by. I throw it on like a podcast or whatever and it,
Right.
it, it flies by. So yeah, we go down there. He got me in super young. And I just loved it. Like I said, I've been playing Call of Duty and first person shooters for as long as I can remember. And so like doing it in real life, I mean, it's just crazy and I've loved it ever since. So
Yeah.
here I am 10 years later.
That's amazing, dude. You look really young.
Yeah, I am 17. So
Oh shit, dude. That
yeah,
is amazing. Like,
yeah,
yeah, starting that young and still sticking with it, because a lot of guys that start, typically the story I've heard is, they start really young, like yourself, and springers in the backyard,
right.
with their friends, chasing each other or whatever. And then they get busy with high school. Usually high school, like your your life changes quite a bit from your interest to because you're chasing girls and you're like sports or whatever
Right.
it is that you're doing in high school, and then after that it's either college or a job or a military or so they're kind of big life changes going
Yeah,
on, and so typically there's a big gap between the time they first are introduced to airsoft guns when they're young to in their mid 20s. And then they go, you know what? I really loved playing that when I
right. And
was
then get
little.
back into it. Yeah,
Yeah. And they
right.
get back into it. So you've been doing it consistently. And you're still young.
Yeah.
And so you're still doing it, man. That's cool.
And I definitely get what you were talking about, like life changing and everything. And it's funny that you say that because like, I'm in high school and like you said, girls, parties, all the high school experience stuff. So I put that to the side. I got airsoft tomorrow. I can't go. I got to get my stuff together. I mean, because I know I'm gonna have a better time at airsoft than some party that's like it's like whatever. So,
Yeah.
I mean that's not to say I don't do that stuff too, but I definitely I just like what's gonna be more fun at the end of the day, and going to hang out with some of my best friends and we go play dress up in the woods seems to be a lot more fun. So,
Right. Yeah.
so
And you get some cool pictures out of it. I mean,
right, right.
you've got an option there. So that's a good thing. Having the variety
Hmm.
really makes a difference.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So what do you run? What kind of guns you run? What was your first? Tell me about your first airsoft game experience.
So I got lucky because like I said, my sister's friend's dad, he was extremely into it, had all the guns and gear, so he had extra stuff for me. So I he would give me and like I was 9 and I was carrying around this big old Crytek, he's got the gear on, it's like sagging down because it doesn't fill me
Oh
out. So I'm like,
shit, yeah.
because yeah, I'm 7 running around, I can't even really move. Um, but yeah, so um, yeah,
Yeah,
we
7 years old, like a pistol, like a Mark 23 is giant for you.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so I was, but I didn't care. I mean, I got my first day. I mean, I was that kid hiding in the back. It didn't matter. I had a blast. So I mean, ever since then, I was hooked. Then he would take me down there, obviously, because I couldn't drive because I was 7. But he would take me down to the local field. And I got into it that way, and I played about 4 times, and then I bought my own gun, and it's the same gun I use today. So
That is awesome, dude. And
yeah.
what'd you buy? What'd you
All
get?
right. So it is.
And this is show and tell too, so you can show it off. And there's no shame, people, in the future here. There's no shame in starting off with a Lancer Tactical. We still have a Lancer Tactical that my boys use as a backup, and the thing is fucking awesome. Okay. So just
So
so you
this
know,
is.
there's no hate.
So this is and it's like an OG ICS CXP. Um and obviously it was a HBID. That was actually done in the last year, but
Yeah.
up until about a year ago, this was completely stock, and it ran completely stock for all that time. So nothing but great things to say about it. And then
Yeah.
of course I have all the other stuff on it. I got the GBRS Hydra mount on it because I really like a raised optic, especially with like because I wear a face mask, and because I'm not trying to get my teeth shot out. I've seen enough of that, and dental
Yes.
work
Thank
is the
God,
worst.
dude. For real.
Anybody anybody that's had dental work knows it is the absolute worst. So I don't
So
want to
many
deal with that.
people, dude, so many people are afraid to wear, they're not afraid. They're against wearing full face covers because they don't look cool. And I'm thinking, bro, it actually looks cool if you get some cool looking ones, but protect your teeth. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it
Why do you
also
want?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It also looks cool if you're not in the dentist chair missing half a tooth because it got chipped out. That also looks cool. So pick and choose your battles there, I say.
And if your parents bought you braces when you were, a young
Yeah.
teenager or 10 years old or whatever, they will appreciate it because they probably spent like $4 grand on your freaking
Yeah, man.
braces, and then you get them shot out in airsoft because you want to look cool without a face mask. Put it
Yeah,
on.
no, I'm
Cover your
with
teeth.
that. Yeah, that's the PSA of the day. Cover your mouth.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I
But
love the raised optics on there. Yeah,
mhm,
it's a great thing because it is really difficult to see when
right.
they're on the actual rail
Yeah.
without being raised. When you
For sure.
have full face cover or a helmet or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. So then on the front, I got a scope cam because I make the YouTube videos and stuff.
Hell
Um,
yes.
Obviously EPM ones. If you're not using these, you're losing. I mean, this is like the best mag on the market in my
They
opinion.
really are. They
I
really
mean,
are.
they kind of have the market cornered. I mean, I'm not really seeing a better mag than this.
Dude, for
Um,
real.
and then I mean that's about it. I got the reverse GoPro mount on there. I don't have the GoPro on it. It's charging at the moment, and then a Repro Surefire for the night game activities. But yeah,
Okay.
that's about it. It's pretty basic. Got like a rattle can paint job on there, but that's about it.
Yeah, rattle can is cool too. Well, I'm gonna
I mean,
bring up here while you're talking. I'm gonna bring up your YouTube channel and your Instagram as well, so we can see what you're talking about. Share the screen right here. Anyone listening, if you're not watching the video version, if you're driving or you're at work, I want to say thank you for tuning in. And also, let me take a second out here to promote the sponsors of this episode. One is Skirmish. You guys see me hold this bracelet up every time. Go to play.skirmish.net to find out more. I have all these links in the description and also on my profile and my website. Okay. And also Jackal Tactical. Go to jacktac.com to find out more. Jackal Tactical is a storefront in a field up in Pennsylvania, and they also run events through their other company called Otherworld Milsim. Go check out their website and to find out more. So, but Skirmish is a stat tracking system. It is the biggest, baddest, most bossest uh data tracking or stat tracking system in Airsoft, hands down. I'm telling you. So if you have any, here's the thing about it. Okay. Here's the big difference between all the other ones. Like when you go to a certain event, like a 3-day mil sim, they have all these things. Oh yeah, 10 team won by 500 points. Okay. But there's no way to tell how you did or how your team did individually at that event. Okay. Still to this day, no one has that. Skirmish is the only way to find out how you as an individual and how your team did at a certain event. And this thing goes anywhere in the world, wherever these skirmish system boxes are set up at whatever field, at whatever event. You can take this particular bracelet if you buy one that is personalized to you. You set your profile to it, just like set up, your own personal email or whatever. You go on and it has a serial number on the back. You track it to you. You sign in with your profile with it, and then whatever event you go to, whatever field you go to that has a skirmish system set up, you can track all your stats for that particular event. And sometimes they're set up for really a lot of different types of things that you can do in that event. For example, like a 500 player or 1,000 player event that Balahack Airsoft does in Virginia. They use the skirmish system. They have it set up. So if you go there, anyone that's been following Swamp Sniper for a lot of years, that dude is awesome. Okay. And
Absolutely.
he sets up some really, really good events at Balahack. So he recently in the past year started using Skirmish, and it's really cool. Okay, so you can track all your stuff for different events on there. So go to Skirmish or play.skirmish.net, and you can find out more about that. And go ask your local field if they don't have this set up yet. Ask them to reach out to Brandon at Skirmish to find out more on how they can set it up, because it's a system I really believe in. Okay, honestly, and they sponsor this episode along with Jack Tack. So I appreciate y'all sponsors. But anyway, so let's check out your YouTube channel, Howie. And what made you start a YouTube channel for Airsoft?
Well, when I was
Got a
first getting
bunch of videos.
into Airsoft, I was like an iPad kid, obviously, because I was like 7. So,
Yeah,
every
look right here.
that's old gaming stuff,
Look at
but
you right here, bro.
yeah,
You're so
that
young.
and that was only 4 years ago. It's crazy. That was during COVID. That was during the
Okay.
lockdown, and so yeah, long if you really want to see an archive, I'll
Yeah.
send you um I'll send this link over. Let me see.
You know what I
But
love about, so you're 17, like you said
yes.
earlier. What I love about talking with you guys that are, still in your older teenage years, if you started any kind of social media, years ago, there's such a change, like a noticeable change
Right.
in, when you grow up, because once you get old like me, once you get like 25, between 25 and like 40, if you stay in halfway decent shape, you're not gonna, your looks aren't gonna change that much.
Right.
But with you guys, you're starting out really young, and it's like, holy shit, is that you? What?
Yeah, so the video I just shot you a DM on Instagram and I sent you a
Okay.
link. That is from 7 years ago. Um, and that was I guess you'll call it, that was my first I don't know why it didn't send it the video. Oh wait, I sent
Do
it
you
to the
see
wrong
it?
person. That's on me.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Sorry.
you said it to me. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Um, but yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And you want to know what's even crazier about that? those pants actually
Oh,
got
you did a
retired.
review.
Yeah, well, those pants actually got retired this weekend. I literally wore those up until this weekend because they ripped. But yeah,
Oh my God, dude, that's awesome.
yeah. And like they were like obviously really big in that video, but for
Did
like
you,
context,
who did this video with you?
my sister who was like 3 years older, there's like a talking point at the end. We do not need to watch that part. It's really bad.
No, this is
But
awesome, man.
yeah, you know.
What? No, for somebody like me that, all these things came out when I was older, right?
Right.
For somebody to start out young doing the video editing and all this kind of shit, this is
Yeah, so
awesome.
I've changed just a little bit, as if you can tell.
Right?
But yeah,
Look, you
I
can tell
mean,
your brother and sister, look at that look.
yeah, and it's crazy. Those pants, like I literally wore them until I couldn't anymore. Like literally, they just started to rip this weekend.
That is
But
awesome, dude.
yeah, I'm not trying to brag on myself here, but I think that my videos now have gotten a little bit better than this one. But
Oh, dude, this is classic, man. Don't ever, ever, ever get rid of this video. So when, a lot of times what happens is people will uh if they continue their channels, their
right,
pages or their channel, whatever it is they're doing on social media, and they're really excited about it, they'll delete some of their earlier videos because they don't, they're cringy, right?
right,
Like when you look back, I mean, because
yeah,
you've been running a channel, uh, this is a very, very, very common thing. None of us, anyone out there, if you're listening, if you're watching, if you want to start a channel and you haven't done it, and you do start it, okay, and you start editing your own stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to like your voice. You're not going to
that's
like how
yeah,
you
that's
look.
big. That's really
Okay.
big.
Those two things, listen, that's how everyone around you has heard you and seen you forever. Uh, it is just since you started doing this, you're the one that's just now seeing how you look and sound. But this is how you looked and sound to everyone around you since the beginning. So don't freak out, okay? Don't beat yourself up. Don't hate on yourself for your voice. Uh I did. We all do, okay?
Right.
And I wanted to try to cut and edit so much of myself out of the videos when I first started editing, or try to change the voice, I tried all kind of stuff, more voice editing, and I was like, bro, you know what? It's fine. It's
Yeah.
so you'll get over it really soon. Just keep posting. Okay. It is a cool thing to have for yourself, and it's a good learning process. And also 5, 10 years from now, I know you don't think of that stuff. I didn't think of that stuff. I didn't think long term down the road, but it is really good to have for your history as a human being, to have this kind of stuff. You got this video of you and your sister. It's awesome, dude. And I
Yeah.
have two sisters. I would have never said I don't look, I would have been like, no, I don't want any videos with me and my sister as growing up. But anyway, it's really cool when you look at it later. Okay.
Yeah, no, and that's why that there's all that gaming stuff at the bottom is that's not even like on brand with the Howie TV stuff, but it is like a reminder that's like, oh, this is how far I've come. And like even I go down and I watch some of my first airsoft videos. I'm like, what is the like editing? Like what is the thought process there? Like what am I doing? But I mean, and that's how it's gonna be from like if I'm looking back on a video that I just made last week
Yeah,
in 2 years. You know, there's just gonna be a constant evolution of your ability.
that's right.
And I mean, you just gotta always keep getting better. I mean, that's just what it's all about.
Where's your first airsoft video that you made?
It is the insane airsoft gameplay, and that's with me and my buddies in one of his in his backyard. Yeah,
Okay.
I got my bright blue Adidas
Oh,
shoes
sorry
on,
about
and
that.
no,
Whoops.
all good, all good.
There we go.
But yeah, I mean, It's
Okay.
crazy,
Is
but
this on your helmet? Like a helmet cam mount?
well, it was like it was a boonie hat that I cut a hole in to like
Oh,
feed the GoPro head strap through.
Novrich. There you go.
Yeah, and it was like falling down the whole time. Like that's why you can literally see the nose of my mesh mask there. But yeah, I was just like, why not? I mean, I thought it was decent at the time, obviously, but you know,
And that's
but
one of the real common things, like especially back then. This is the problem we encountered when these guys first started doing oh look, you're winding the
yeah, the high cap.
the hot cat bag.
That's how you know you're elite.
Oh, for real now.
And yeah, you can't even see. I did have a scope cam. This was the first like scope cam video. So
Yeah, I
um
see the scope cam on the rail there.
I'll switch eventually. It's so garbage, but um yeah, I mean just gotta keep getting better. And that's what it's all about, really.
So that guy laying next to you, was that one of your first airsoft buddies that you guys
Yeah,
played? Yeah.
yeah. So he had like a real gun, and then like all it was we were doing a 3v2, and all my buddies had springers and stuff. So we're like put the two AGs together, put all the springers together, and we'll see what happens. And if you
Yeah.
can see in front of us, there's a plunger, and so we were playing attack the plunger. So just what a joke it was, but yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
this is really like I feel like everybody's kind of origin story. I gotta say I'm extremely lucky because, like I was telling you, I got thrown into when I had nice guns and gear and everything. But this is really where it starts for a ton of people. So
Right. Well, y- everyone that I've talked with, they start in a very similar way, but their stories are always different.
right,
They're always different. And so, and they always have some fun, cool differences when they talk about how they got into it and that kind of thing. So,
right,
or back into it after they, you know, like when they started when they were younger and then got out of it or forgot about it, whatever, and
right.
then got back into it when they were 20.
Hmm.
So this is cool, man.
And yeah,
Okay.
that is one of the cool things, like you were saying about like Louis, the history of your life is that with doing the YouTube stuff, so much of it is documented on film, and I
Yep.
literally whenever I want, I can go back and watch it. And you'd be surprised on how much I actually do. But so yeah,
This is something that I definitely, as an older person, right? I'm 53. As somebody that's older, um, and thought when I was your age, I thought a 28-year-old was like so old that they were going to turn into dust. Okay. Like
right,
no shit, for real. And uh for somebody like that, it was, and that's a common thing that happens. And when you're young, you look at the older people and you're like, holy shit, you know what, I'm never going to make it to that age. uh for somebody like that, with all of this kind of stuff that you're doing, like look at all these videos you have already.
yeah,
Okay, this is amazing, bro. I'm so glad you're doing this because it really is a documentary of your life at these certain parts.
yeah,
Okay. And I really love to see that. So some people put, iconic moments in their channels. Um, like these are 3 years ago, 3 years ago, like 4 years ago. Like you have videos from when you're young all the way up to 9 days ago.
yeah,
So yeah, I would encourage you and anyone out there that is even it doesn't don't just focus on the views. Okay.
right.
Focus on, hey man, this is like a future documentary that I can show my kids when I'm like 35 and they're, 5 or 6 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, man.
That's some really good advice I got. I when I first started making YouTube videos, I DM'd Airsoft Alphonse, and I was like, all right, listen, like what kind of content should I make? And he was like, forget about the views, forget about like
Yep.
all the like monetary like business type stuff, forget it. what I did is he said I had a hobby that's not like that popular in hindsight. Like airsoft is definitely a niche thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I wanted to make cool videos so my friends will come out and play with me. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make it look cool so then they'll come do it with me. And I feel like that is because if you're being cool, if you're being a genuine person and you're just letting your like personality show in your videos, and that's what I've done, it you'll have really some real success. So that's super nice. I really don't think there's any point in selling out or putting on this fake persona unless it's like a fictional like persona that's like done up or something like that. Like that's
Sure.
funny or cool. Like you know what I'm saying. But if you're just like a complete fake, like that only cares about what you can get out of it, you're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's fleeting.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
that's, this isn't just a new thing with social media or YouTube or, where we can post our stuff, whatever. This is a kind of a general rule in life, in history, right? So do you want to remember for uh the long-term things you're doing that are, it may take longer to, well, specifically on like what you're posting. A lot of people go for the short videos,
Right.
because in the last couple of years, with TikTok and that kind of thing, and those are really fun to watch. The reels and they really are. But if you want to grow a channel, if it depends on what you want to do. But
Right.
if you're doing what you're doing here and you want to document this kind of stuff, and show what you're passionate about, like don't be fake, right?
Right.
Be genuine. And great advice from Airsoft Alphonse. Shout out to that guy. I feel like he's one. I saw him on a podcast with excuse me, a couple guys that I've had on. Uh I had them on the podcast a couple years ago. They had their own podcast. It was called Task Force Podcast. And they had Airsoft Alphonse on. And he's a really genuine dude.
And I'm gonna sound like a complete hypocrite here because of what's on the screen right
No.
now, but it really does suck that what makes airsoft look terrible get views. You know, it really sucks that the cheater videos, like I said, like I'm a complete hypocrite because of what's on your screen right now,
Sure.
but um, like at least on my channel, um, anything with speed softers, like specifically getting mad or anything like that, or
Yeah.
cheating, that's what's gonna get you views. Like a straight up gameplay, like that's the thing now is that now that even though it's still like extremely niche, there's more and more content creators making airsoft stuff, and everybody's making the I'll call it like Call of Duty style gameplays of okay, run, aim, you
Yep.
switch to your scope cam. Like it's nothing like revolutionary
No.
anymore. Like it's
No.
being done. So that's another thing I was talking to Airsoft Alphonse I was about. I was like, what do you think is the future of airsoft content? Because like I was saying, if that's so saturated, what's gonna set me like what's the point of watching me?
Yep.
There's other people doing
I
it.
agree. Yeah, you're
Um,
right.
so I mean, and the only way that you can succeed doing that is if you are making it at the very, very highest quality, at the very highest quality. So like I would think of like Dutch the Hooligan, like that dude is an insane player.
Dude,
All of his cameras are
for
top notch. Like
real.
that guy, in my opinion, is making the highest airsoft quality videos on YouTube.
His videos are great. Okay. Yep.
So well, and yeah, now that we're on the tangent, he needs to come out of retirement. We were talking about earlier, Mr. OT has been a really good advocate for it. The fact that YouTube is just like a blanket banning guns, and it's like these are toy guns, these aren't real. Like, but it's just so hard to distinguish, like with what airsoft guns look like compared to the real counterparts. I mean, it, there's gonna be no way that they're gonna filter out unless they I don't know. I would love to see something, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. It really is unfortunate that a lot of the big companies like TikTok's been extremely detrimental towards airsoft.
Hmm.
I know Admin Airsoft has had a really bad problem. He got banned on Instagram because of it. Like
Yep.
it's just really hard to share this hobby on like a big platform like YouTube.
So I have advice that it seems like no one's listening to, but I'm going to say it again. Y'all need to go over to X formerly Twitter. Okay. Go to X instead of Instagram. Go to Rumble instead of YouTube. All right. You'll have no problem and no issues. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're young, you're 17. Transfer all of your videos. You can still post them on YouTube. You
Right.
don't have to take them down. Okay. Start transitioning your channel over to Rumble. And I promise you, in the next couple years, it will make a huge difference. Okay. Instead of Instagram, use X. All right. There's no censorship over there for guns or airsoft or paintball or whatever.
Right.
Like, there's a huge movement, and I know people don't want to get political. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying it does affect our sport.
Right.
The policies and politics do affect our sport. So
Absolutely.
And those come into effect or whatever with some of these big mainstream platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you don't want to be censored and you want your channel to run smooth, at least right now, as far as we can tell, go to X and go to Rumble. Okay.
Right.
They have promised that they will not censor that kind of stuff. I've seen it. I've experienced it.
Right.
A lot of people have. So there's a huge, I think there's a big hesitation, I guess, with transferring from Instagram to Twitter because because there's not a whole lot of airsoft stuff on Twitter.
Right.
And so your posts don't get a lot of traction at first.
Right.
If you can break through that and we can all get our friends to come over, okay,
Right.
get over to X. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah. And that's I mean that's definitely something that I've heard. You know, Kicking Mustang was posting it. I mean, they Rumble even added what is it, a combat sports like specific section on Rumble. Like that's super sick. Like they see that there's this whole other market that they can pull out of YouTube because YouTube. I mean, they can't even compete if they're gonna be taking all this stuff down. I mean, it's really not even a competition at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's super cool to see that other platforms are welcoming this airsoft community in when we're literally not even really breaking the rules that YouTube is setting. It's just because we are doing something that looks like breaking the rules, but we're not even actually doing it.
Well, the other thing too is just so you know, the terms of service, like for these platforms like YouTube, they they're not censoring your stuff because it's guns. So there's something else behind it. And the reason I say that is because if you were trying to figure out, like you don't really know for sure, right? If you're a detective and you're trying to figure out, well, why did they censor this post and not that one, right? There's no consistency between the
Right.
two. So there's a lot of gun channels on Instagram and YouTube that are steadily putting out content that are not censored. And then you post, like you literally post a picture of a hop up bucking, okay? Or like your airsoft, like the internals,
Right.
either a hop up or a bucking, laying on like your workbench or something,
Right.
not even a gun in sight. And it gets banned.
Yeah.
That's happened more than once. And from people I've talked with. And it's like, what? It's because of the wording in your text on it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, airsoft, whatever, bucking, or
Right.
this kind of thing. So we know that there's a airsoft is specifically targeted to be censored.
Yeah.
And the only thing we can do is speculate as to the reason why. I've said it numerous times on different podcasts. I think I know what it is. I think it's something about they want to try to create a culture in America that is against exposing young people to guns and airsoft, as opposed to like paintball, squirt guns,
Right.
water guns, Nerf guns. Airsoft looks like real guns,
Right.
and I think they're trying to get rid of that. So
Right.
I don't, and this is one of the reasons I don't censor on this channel. It's not to, be a rebel and buck the system just for no reason. It's
Right.
that I don't want guys like you. Okay, you're a young man.
Yeah.
17. You're a young man. I don't want you to be coerced into this verbiage and this hesitation to oh, I'm afraid to say this certain word. I'm afraid to say replica. I'm afraid, like
Right.
basic stuff. I'm not
Mhm.
talking about slanderous words. I'm not talking about
Yeah.
mean stuff. I'm not talking about hate speech or whatever, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about just regular speaking, how to explain yourself and what you're describing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teenagers are getting, I feel like, coerced into, oh, if I want to start a YouTube channel, I can't say these words.
Right.
And I I think it's gone overboard with that,
Right. Mhm.
So I encourage you guys, yourself included, if you want to start a channel and you're passionate about airsoft, go for real. Go to Twitter, go to Rumble, and you can post on all of them. I do. I
Mhm.
post on everything. I post on Instagram. I post on Twitter. I post on Rumble. I post on YouTube, Spotify, like every podcast platform out there, along with the video stuff. So if it gets canceled on YouTube because we say something wrong, that's fine. It's still up on Rumble,
Right.
you know. So whatever. But yeah, I encourage you to do that, man.
And that's definitely something that's like admirable. I mean, about kicking Mustang. And I know like I'm gonna get everybody fired up because everybody wants to hop on the kicking Mustang hate wagon. But
Headshots.
yeah.
What?
And I'll get into that in a second. Now you got me fired up here.
Oh
But
shit.
I mean he obviously he's controversial, but he is also one that's always on YouTube, and like that's why he's on Rumble and stuff now.
Yep.
But that is definitely a figure that it like he will not be censored. You're gonna hear his opinion, like it or not, but you're gonna hear it.
Yep.
So and he's not afraid to say whatever. I mean, he's heard it all at this point. And
Yeah.
that's super cool. Whether you like or hate his play style, you have to admit that that's admirable. That he does not care what anybody says about him, and you're just gonna have to live with that.
He is very humble. He's
Oh
really a
yeah,
humble person.
I could not agree more. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him. He came to ACS Airsoft Noob Day, and that was an absolute nightmare on Reddit. I don't know if you're on r/airsoft during that time. It was an absolute war zone. People
Really?
were calling out Preston, the owner of ACS Airsoft, like making all kinds of like threats. It was absolutely unreal.
Oh
Like
no, I actually don't get on Reddit. No.
yeah, well, I mean, I mean, I would say for the most part, like if you normally go on r/airsoft, it's like normally just like gun pictures or whatever, like the normal
Yeah.
stuff. But like when you get to talking about kicking Mustang, it is the most foul thing. Like I would say he is probably the most hated airsoft YouTuber on there.
Really?
It is absolutely unreal. So
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah,
Okay.
and so like I said, I met him, and I really you nail right on the head. He was super happy to be there, definitely a humble guy, and I was talking to some people about it, and they were just like, well, he was paid to be there, he was the celebrity, but U.S. Airsoft was also there,
Yeah.
um, and they were two completely different people. I'm not gonna say that U.S. Airsoft was mean, like, and that's not the case at all.
No, no.
Kicking Mustang, we had a really good conversation. We
You're
talked
talking about
about
Matt? Is
yeah,
that his
yes,
name? Matt?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Matt.
Yeah,
We
he's kind of shy.
right,
He's a
um,
different personality.
right. But
Yeah.
I definitely gotta say that Kicking Mustang was overwhelmingly nice, talking
Yeah.
to every person that he possibly could, and I feel like he's a really genuine guy, and
Hmm.
people are looking to hate on him at this point because that's the popular thing to do. But my personal opinion, I have nothing but great things to say about the guy. So, and that's another thing about the headshots. And so I went on a tangent about I did a YouTube live stream the other day, and
Every day?
yeah, I kind of went crazy.
What?
Um, so here's yeah, it's unlisted now, but
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, I was talking to Mr. OT about it, and so I'll just use this gun as an example.
Okay.
So um, so like I use the Hydra mount, and so this scope cam, this is the same one he uses. I think he uses the 4K version, but it's the same camera nonetheless, just the
Yeah, yeah.
resolution's different. So I have it on this little riser. So there's a little bit of a difference between here and the barrel, obviously.
Sure.
Now he runs it on top of the scope. So this scope would probably be a little bit higher than it would actually be. So we'll just call it like right about here is probably where it would be.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference that you have from the barrel here to where the camera recording is. Anybody that has used this camera can tell watching his videos that he is zooming in more than the standard resolution of this camera. And that's what I do too, because it helps the viewer find the BB. That way you put it in the center of the screen and put the reticle on.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
Yeah, I've done the same thing.
just because the reticle and the camera is pointed directly at a person's head does not mean that that is what he is seeing through his scope.
No.
That is not what that means at all.
Right.
So I see all these people saying he's aiming at the head. You don't have a clue what he's aiming at because you're not looking through his scope.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing, and no one uses like the actual like recording scopes because they're terrible. Because I would say that the cameras like this are the best option for like scope cam, like recording stuff,
For sure.
gameplays.
Yeah.
And that is, it does not make sense. But let's say we'll give those people the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he is. It's your fault. You walked onto the field knowing what can happen because you want, like we were talking about earlier, because you want to look cool. Okay. You are accepting all outcomes that will be responsible of you not wearing face protection.
That's
You're
right.
never going to hear about me getting shot in the teeth because I wear a mesh mask. I would prefer I get shot in the face because it's completely covered. I get the big pit vipers, and I got the mesh mask and a helmet. Please shoot me in the face.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud. Like it's scary whenever somebody shoots my glasses because it's like, but yeah, I mean, I prefer to get shot in the face.
At least you won't have, there's no question that you got shot.
Right. Yeah. No, you know when you get shot in the face.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you I don't get it. From what I've seen, I've never really been at a field where people are complaining about headshots at the level he has. Like I've like people in the UK and some of the videos, I'm like, I can't even imagine that. Like, go home, dude. Like you clearly
I
do
don't
not
get
want to
it,
be
bro.
shot. Like go home.
Well, by the way, if you go back to his earlier videos on his channel, he's got a lot of videos. But
Right.
if you go back to his earlier videos, there's a lot of videos that he has in his, puts in the video that, kept in there where he shoots the person in the chest.
Right.
Once or twice, they don't call it.
Right.
And then he shoots him in the face and then they call it.
Right.
Like, if I did that 100 times, like how many times would it take for, if you're a airsoft sniper, for you to do that and then just go, you know what, F it. I'm just going to shoot him straight in the face the first time.
Let's make it a little more efficient here.
Now, when you first started airsoft, what was your influence? Did you
Jet Desert Fox?
you holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. So it would have been not this year because ACS had Kicking Mustang, like I said, this year, but last year they had Jet Desert Fox, and I met him, went back to the car, and started crying because like it is actually like unreal. It's so crazy whenever like obviously like whenever you're that young and like you idolize somebody like that, this is like the coolest guy you've ever seen, and with like. And having that like within me for all this time and then like actually getting to meet him, it is so crazy. And one of the things you don't think about is like hearing a voice that you normally hear come through like a speaker on your phone in person. It is the most unreal thing ever. Like that was one of the things that really struck out to me about Kicking Mustang. Hearing, especially with his accent, hearing him talk in person was unreal. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So it's just the small things that you don't think about just really hit you hard. And yeah, I've had the pleasure of meeting a bunch of guys. Like I've met Alphonse, Jet, Mustang, and so they've all been super cool. So yeah.
Okay.
And and so in the beginning, I would say my stuff was more like Jet Desert Fox style, but like I'm on a severe addiction at this moment. Like I'm a Dutch the Hooligan fanboy to the moon. Like I told Preston, the owner of ACS Airsoft, if he gets Dutch the Hooligan to the next Noob Day event, I mean it's just gonna be waterworks from the like I'm gonna be crying all day long. I'm not gonna be able to play at all. I'm just gonna be like in awe the whole time. So that is on my bucket list. I would love to meet him, and I would
Really?
definitely start crying immediately. I mean,
I wonder if we could do a if we could collaborate. If I could get Dutch on here with
I mean,
you.
you're not. I mean, you're not gonna have anything record worthy because I'm just gonna be bawling the whole time in the corner.
That's okay, man. You know, we can
um,
we'll figure something out.
yeah, that would be sweet though. So if you can get him to come out of retirement, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. When did he retire?
Well, it wasn't officially, but like he hasn't posted a video in a while. Let's see when his most recent video was.
Yeah, I'm looking at his channel right now. It's been a while since I checked his channel. I mean I follow him,
Right.
but
Yeah, 10
uh
months ago.
yeah, 10 months ago.
Um, so he needs to come back. I mean,
Did he post anything on any of his socials that said why?
no, no. So
Okay.
I saw on Reddit, so obviously this is not a valid source, but I heard that he got married, but like I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, yeah. Believable that that's something that happened with him.
Right. And like
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I mean I'd understand it. I mean, obviously like don't relate to it because I'm so young and stuff, and
Yeah, you're
that's not
17, yeah.
I'm not really worried about getting married and quitting airsoft at the moment. But
You should get married next week, dude. Come
yeah, I
on.
mean, let me get on that for you. I mean, I guess that is the airsoft dating advice that I have to give to all the viewers here. I mean, find you a girl that'll go play airsoft with you. I drug mine out there one time and she had a pretty good time, so
Yeah,
I that's my advice.
there you go.
Yeah, we both had a pretty good time that day, so highly recommend.
Where did you meet your girlfriend? In high school?
Uh, well, like we go to different schools, so just like Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
Snapchat's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just so like if I'm gonna be honest here, I would just go through it and then add all the blonde girls because I have a type, and and I figured one of them would work out, and it did. So look at that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. So that's the other dating advice. If you're ever lonely, just go through Snapchat quick ad and just go to town. That's what it's all about.
There you go.
So,
You never
um,
know where you're going to meet somebody when you have that chemistry.
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, I got lucky and I played the game of numbers. I was like, surely one of these will. And so you know, I had to make sure she didn't think I was weird. So I didn't tell her about the airsoft thing for like 3 months in. And
Oh
I was like,
shit.
oh, by the way,
Right. Hey,
don't worry
come
about.
over to the cave, the man cave with all these guns and all this gear. And she's like, holy shit, this dude's about to go nuts.
She like comes over, you know, we're shoving in the closet and stuff. It's like, don't worry about that. Also, don't ask where I go on Saturdays. Like, don't worry about it. We can only hang out Saturday nights.
Oh
I
my
might be
God.
really tired though.
Wouldn't that be weird though? Like if somebody's not used to being around paintball, airsoft, guns in general, and they meet up with somebody and they're dressing up on the weekends to go LARP
Yeah,
and they're like full geared out, right? Like kitted out.
right.
Holy hell.
Yeah. And I can like definitely like understand how like if you don't like see a video, it's like kind of hard to describe airsoft in a way that sounds cool to somebody.
Yeah,
Like, hey, I'm gonna go dress up and play like fake army with all these other men in the woods here.
for
I
real.
promise it's not weird. It's really fun actually. But
It really is different because if you
yeah,
say, oh no, it's like paintball, but with plastic BBs or whatever, and
right.
then you're putting on all this like military looking gear,
Yeah.
and in their mind, the paintball videos they've seen are, you know what paintballers wear, you know, those
Yeah, yeah.
vibrant colored
Yeah,
like
like Jersey. Yeah,
jerseys
right.
and yeah, like well, you don't look like What? What are you doing? Are you part of a weird militia or a cult? Like, what are you doing?
We're actually training here. When everything goes down, you're gonna be thankful for me,
Oh
okay?
no, it's DayZ in real life.
Right. But yeah, so I talked to her, and then she was like, I like had to show her some of the videos, and then it was even later that I told her about the YouTube channel because that was another 3 months in. Um she's like, why are you always in your room? Also, don't worry about it.
Oh
Don't worry about
shit.
what I'm working on my computer.
Oh my God.
So yeah, but no, like she thought it was pretty cool, and I was finally convinced her to. I drug her out there, and she had a really good time. She said she would go again, but like not now. She said it's too hot, so we gotta wait till it cools down a little bit for her to go back out there.
What part of the country are you guys in?
I'm like Midwest, so like if you like know where Brim is in like St. Louis and where OT is in Memphis,
Yeah.
just like I'm like right in the middle there,
Oh,
Southern
okay.
Illinois. That's
Okay.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you guys still get some hot weather in the
dude,
summer and
it is
definitely humid.
brutal.
Yeah, definitely humid. Yep.
Yes, the humidity is what's the killer, man. When it's like 95 and like, yeah,
80% humidity.
yeah, and you walk
So
outside and you're like,
I'm telling you, man, I don't know if you ever traveled to the West.
I've been to like Las Vegas, which I know is like,
Okay.
so
It is. So it's a huge difference. Yeah, high heat, right?
right.
Temperature wise. But the humidity is so low, dude.
Yeah, it's just a dry heat, but I
It's
would rather
so
take that.
different.
I would rather
I'd
take
rather
that.
get that
Yeah.
100%. I'd rather
The
get that.
the
That
walk
is
outside and feel sticky is just not it. And then
no.
you're playing airsoft and you're fogging doing one of these numbers.
You got to get the X fog, bro. The X
Yeah,
fog, you know.
I've been really seriously considering it. I don't know if there what the system a good system would be because I run Pit Viper, so like there's no gasket kit. But I think there is like a kit for maybe the ESS crossbows that'll fit them. I feel like I heard that maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's one though that you can actually fit in there, and it's got like the little holes on the side, where you connect the
Yep.
X-Fog tubes in there. But yeah, once the
You
summer's
got to,
over though,
man.
I never have any problems with fogging.
Right.
Because the Pit Vipers, they have some pretty big gaps, and I would say Admin Airsoft's a brave man for just wearing straight up Pit Vipers because there's some pretty decent gaps right around here and
Uh-huh.
like right here. But
Yeah.
wearing the mesh mask, it kind of pushes it into your face a little bit. So that definitely helps out. Like I don't really think I'm gonna get my eye shot out, knock on wood. But
No. No.
yeah, so but I'll tell you what, whenever you get shot in the glasses, it is loud. Like it scares me. I like jump back.
Right.
And I try to be all stealthy, and then I forget I have a giant blue windshield over my eyes that you can see from across the field. So, but hey, I mean, airsoft's part of the dress up. That's part of the fun. So
Yeah, right, dude. For real now.
yeah. So
I I had your YouTube channel pulled up earlier, and I want to go over some of your gear. Do you have videos about some of your gear that you want to go
I
over?
mean, there's not too much to tell. Here I
Well, you
got
got
me. I
this.
I
You
just have
got
like
this
a.
video on here that's a year ago. That's mystery gun.
Oh yeah, that was just the ICS. I was like, how am I gonna make this look interesting because it was an otherwise like normal gameplay, nothing
Yeah, yeah,
crazy. But like for my helmet, it's pretty standard. I normally run like the camo scrim on top, but I'm working on like this new camera setup thing, and I don't know how I want to do it yet, so it's
yeah,
off. So I just have this Ranger green cover on it. Got some like homemade scrim. It's like a t-shirt and a pair of pants and stuff all cut up.
yeah,
Got to be resourceful. Got the like night deadlight because this past weekend we had a night game at ACS Airsoft. And then got the GoPro on the front here, and so my case got shot this weekend, so I got to figure out a better solution. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is ditch the case and just go with like the individual screen protectors.
yeah. I've seen
Um,
those.
so like, cause I don't obviously care if like the black part gets shot, like if it dents, big deal. Like it's not gonna hurt the
It's not gonna
camera.
hurt anything.
So, but obviously this big glass is not ideal when I'm gonna be
Yeah.
trying to sneak around because that turns on as well. Here we'll see. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like facing. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So, and that's just like a preview of the camera. But
Well, there's settings in the GoPro. You can turn that off.
yeah, and I definitely will like, um,
And the sounds and the red LED. Yep.
yeah, I actually like the sounds because I don't like, as long as I, that way I don't have to like take it off because it's not gonna be beeping while I'm playing. It's just start and stop type deal. It
Right.
did screw me over though this 2 weeks ago because my GoPro overheated, so it beeped and there was a dude on the other side of the wall. So my GoPro's going crazy and this guy
Oh
now knows where I'm at.
shit.
So, but I'll
Oh my
take
God.
the
That's like a scene in a movie where you're trying to be like stealthy and quiet,
right.
and then something beeps, some
Yeah.
your phone vibrates, or something, whatever, it like gives off some kind of noise, and you're like, oh shit, and you're caught.
Yeah, I'll take the rare situation though because the ease of access of like hearing the beeps and knowing what's going on with your camera, because like that's another thing I was looking to talk about is like once you start recording your gameplays, like it is so addicting. And I will tell you, and to anybody that's thinking about starting to record your gameplays, like if something happens and you're like, oh shoot, my GoPro was on camera mode, so I just took a picture when I was supposed to be recording,
No
or
shit.
I accidentally stopped the recording when I thought I was starting it.
Yep.
Like that drive home, or like whenever you sit down and sit on your computer, man, you're gonna be so depressed because
It's
then there's
so disappointing,
yeah,
bro.
because that moment in person, it like you're gonna think it was so epic, and then it's just you can't share with anybody. So
I'm going to
that's
tell you one of the most disappointing things, okay? Deflating. You're just like, when you're all excited about recording your stuff and you go to these big events or
mhm,
whatever, and you like what you're talking about, and you get those moments where you're like, oh my God, that was awesome. I'm
right.
so glad I had my GoPro on. And then you go and load it into your computer, you whatever, put it in your editing program, and you're like, holy shit. The camera, like, it adjusted like on your helmet cam
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
When you went to go hit record, it like moved it just a little bit because the thing wasn't tightened enough or whatever.
right.
So now, like what you said earlier, it was like looking down towards your nose.
Right. Yes.
Oh my
That,
God.
that that is why I really like, we're gonna plug Brain Exploder here, but I really like this because pretty much with this, as long as your GoPro is flush with the NVG shroud, you're
Yeah.
gonna be fine. Like you're gonna have a good angle.
Yep.
The only way to know if it's not is if you're just about anywhere that's not flush. Like
Yep.
that is not gonna be a good view. So
Exactly.
as long as you keep it flush, you're gonna be okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it is super sweet, and this one's a lot better than
Shout out Brain Exploder
yes.
for real.
Brain Explorer has so many options for cameras, and like literally he has so many different options for whatever camera you're going to be using.
Right.
It is absolutely yeah, massive shout out to Brain Exploder. He is making airsoft recording so much easier and so much more accessible for everybody.
Right.
um
I think I reached out to him a long time ago when I first started these podcasts, and he actually wasn't posting airsoft stuff. I don't know if he still is, but he
I
wasn't
haven't
posting
seen
airsoft. He
anything.
was posting a lot of stuff about his truck.
Right. Like he 3D he like he makes like he puts stuff on his site for his truck and like little like mods and stuff. So yeah, I've seen that too.
Yep.
And I don't know if he plays anymore, to be honest. And it sucks because that wasn't one of the most innovative people that sees a problem that is a common problem. Because a lot of people want to share their gameplays. This guy is making killer solutions, not
Yep.
just for him, but for people with all the kinds of different cameras.
Yep.
So that's another thing is um people can do really cool stuff with 3D printers.
Dude,
So
for real now.
like you see um like if you see a problem in airsoft, like you can go on Etsy, and see like I've seen like grenade holders, all sorts of stuff. There's tons of cool stuff that you can
Oh,
find on
really?
there. So
I actually haven't looked on Etsy for that kind of thing. Okay.
3D printed stuff. Like obviously like everybody knows like 3D printed stuff is not the most durable, but
Sure. It
it'll be
can
a
be. I mean, it can
yes,
be. It depends on
it
how they
can.
make it. Yeah.
Right. So like this has a little bit like this mount specifically has some slop to it. So that's why I like to use the cords here or the
Yeah. Yeah.
retention bands.
Right.
That's not going anywhere. Like that's not
No, dude.
so
No,
That's
you can run
definitely
around and jump and dive and fall into a ditch and
more likely for me fall, not see that branch sticking out,
that's
you
not
need
just
it.
you, man. That's a lot of people in airsoft, okay?
That's just
And by the way, a lot of people in the military, all right?
right.
It's not just yeah, you're not clumsy if you fall when you're on uneven terrain with roots and rocks and leaves and all this shit that's covering the ground you can't see and you lose your footing. That's a normal thing. It's fine.
Right. So, like, speaking of tripping and falling and stuff, so this gun, it was originally tan. You can kind of see what's worn off on the hand guard here,
Yeah.
but I cracked the lower receiver. It fell off my deck. So,
Oh.
so I had a whole process of finding a lower for this, and I could only find one in black. As you can see, it's kind of wearing off here.
Yeah.
But I had a really hard time because, like I said, this gun is from years and years ago. Like, it's been discontinued for years. So I
Really?
was almost at the point of I'm gonna have to buy a new gun because there is no parts. Like, there was no parts for it. So, but thankfully, I got extremely lucky. One of my guys in my local field came through and he's like, "Hey, I just got a like miscellaneous parts bin of ICS stuff." And he happened to have a lower receiver, and I was incredibly thankful because I'm gonna ride this thing until it cannot fire anymore. This thing has been with me forever.
Oh,
So
dude. ICS makes some good shit, bro.
yeah, and so hate to jump on the bandwagon here, but I think my next purchase is gonna be a Mark 18. I know how original here, but everybody's gonna be real
You're
surprised
gonna
when I
get
put
so
an
much hate, okay?
yeah, right, and then when I put an EO Tech on it, it's over. I mean,
Oh
it
Lord. No.
just gets worse and worse, right? Just being real
uh
original here, but
yeah.
it's a system that works. I mean, the Wolverine Mark 18s, the Daniel Defense Wolverine Mark 18s, like unreal. Like, how about I empty my bank account right now?
It's like those memes, give me your money or I'll take my money.
Yeah, right. But
Yep.
we gotta be financially responsible because currently funding night vision. So that's that's the current project.
Bro,
Yeah. So
night vision in airsoft blew me away, man.
dude, it is
I don't know.
unbelievable. Yeah.
So you're talking about your scope and your optics and stuff earlier, and I was about to say something, but I didn't. But I had a guy on here from the UK. His YouTube channel is just his last name, Low,
Okay.
LOWE.
Yep. I've heard of him. Yep.
Okay. His uh his sniper scope is thermal IR, like it has all these things built into it. And
That's so
the
sick.
scope itself can record. So it's like a
Right.
scope cam
Hmm.
built into the scope. Okay.
Yeah.
And this thing, when it's called a longbow.
Right. Yeah. 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 I know what you're talking about. Like, I've seen some of his stuff before, so it's super
These
sweet.
things are insanely expensive.
Yeah.
$8,000 to $13,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So for airsoft, by the way, that could get shot out. Not likely because the lenses on those are pretty fucking strong.
Right. And if you go real steel optic, you're normally gonna have a pretty decent warranty type deal too.
Exactly. Yes, they do have a good warranty, but it is you know uh, if you want to work towards something like that now, you'll
Yeah.
be set for a while
Yeah.
because you wouldn't have to have that, the run cam and this thing does everything.
Yeah.
It's a really cool scope, but
Yeah.
it
His
is
stuff is cool.
wild what some of these guys do for the sport.
Yeah, for sure. And like it like just talking about like the advantage that night vision gives. If you haven't like looked through night vision, you really won't get it. But whenever you play in a game that you have night vision, other people don't, you're like, okay, like this is so fun. I'm not even getting shot at. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, like I remember like this past year or this year actually, we were in Anniston, Alabama at Fort McClellan at Black Site, AMS Black Site. And I mean, AMS is just a train wreck of an event organizer now with all the cheating and garbage stuff. But now,
Oh, really?
but Fort
So this
McClellan
is
is,
American Milsim, right?
yeah. Fort McClellan is an amazing place. Like that place is sick. If you ever get the chance to go, I cannot recommend it enough.
Honestly, I've only heard good things about AMS.
So that's how I was when I before I went to my first one. The first one I went to was last year. We went to the Guardian Center because I was like, well, if I'm gonna do Milsim, I got to go all the way. And I
Right.
will tell you, if you've ever been to the Guardian Center, it will ruin airsoft for you because you'll go to the Guardian Center and then you'll go to some other place and you'll be like, this place is a joke. Like now that I
So the
because
Guardian Center is the
it is legit.
pinnacle.
I would say, I'm just saying here. I think the Guardian Center is the best place in the world to play airsoft.
No
Like people,
shit.
in my opinion. So
What?
yeah, it is unreal. So have
Okay.
you never been there before?
No.
It is unbelievable.
Guardian Center. Where's this at? In Georgia, right?
Yes, so it's like an hour. I want to say it's like an hour south of Atlanta, which sucks for me
Perry,
because
Georgia.
yeah, so we had to go through Atlanta, which is anybody that's driven through Atlanta knows it's an
Yeah,
absolute
fuck
war
that.
zone.
Okay. Just fuck
But
that. I'm
yeah,
just gonna say right now. There's memes about it. All right.
but yeah, dude, it is unbelievable.
Okay.
But I will tell you, so the American Milsim like skill divide between the two teams is unreal. Like the first year to Iron Horse, it was obviously tan versus green. Tan didn't get out of their spawn. Like we didn't even get to play in the city because we were getting destroyed so hard.
Oh God, that sucks.
Yeah, it is absolutely unbelievable.
Okay.
Um, but like I said, it was my first Milsim, so I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so you see all those buildings. There's you have building to building fighting, 3-story, like the subway tunnels are sick. It is unbelievable. The only thing that sucks is like right where those planes and stuff are landing. Those are like big open fields, and there was a bunch of like standoffs, like of airsoft fights where it's just like I see you, you see me, but we're not close enough to shoot at each other.
Right. It's too far.
So that sucks, but I would say for the most part that it's unbelievable. Obviously, you couldn't go in like the wrecked buildings like that, because they didn't want anybody dying.
Yeah. Right.
um, but um, otherwise, it was unreal. So, but the amount of cheating and the skill imbalance there it is insane, and it
Okay.
seems to be like that seems to be the
So
common
people just, as far as cheating goes, they just weren't calling hits,
it like
basically.
yeah, like
Okay.
I saw a dude literally take a tag in off of his chest and then keep playing. Like he literally a tag in blew up on him and he kept playing. And like
What the
um
fuck?
I will say though, I will give credit. But they actually tracked the dude down because obviously it was on camera because everybody and their mom there has a camera on him.
Right.
But that dude actually did get permanently banned from American Milsim events. But yeah,
Hmm.
so
That's great.
yes,
Whoa,
there's
look at
that's the
this.
map. And so you see on the right side there's like the 90-degree turn on the right side. Yeah, like the long tunnel looking thing.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, so that's like a mock subway tunnel. So there's like turned over like
Oh,
subway cars and stuff in there that you can all go into. It's
yeah.
unreal. It's sick.
Oh shit, look at this. Commuter rail.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, whoever built the website. Okay, this is cool shit.
Yes, it is unreal.
Oh, so you can go through here and this is like
Yes.
part of the fighting thing? No
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No wonder you think it's the best
I'm
shit
telling you,
ever.
man, it's like it is
It's the most diverse
oh
kind
yeah.
of fighting environment
Because it's
ever.
like, okay, I don't want to go in the tunnels. All right, let me go into the city.
Yeah, like
Um,
going to the city or
yeah.
go in open areas. Like,
So
holy
our
hell.
spawn would be like directly below where the camera is. So like if you just went straight down from where the camera is, that's probably where we spawn. And then on the other side of like that flooded area, that's where the other spawn was. And when I kid you not, we couldn't even get to the subway tunnel or that building in the bottom left corner. We were literally trapped that far. It was insane.
Really?
Yeah. So we didn't even really get to see a lot of the city, but like I said, I wasn't putting a whole lot of pressure on it. I was just happy to be there. But biggest mistake was I didn't rent nods. And so we just got destroyed. Yeah, but
What was it? So what kind of event was it? Was it like a continuous
yeah,
24 hour,
uh
48 hour,
so
40 event?
it was a 2 day. It was like, so it went from like, I want to say first day was like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
stop, and then start at like 11 the next day and then go till 1.
Okay.
So yeah, it was super fun though, sneaking around at night, even though we didn't have night vision. And but yeah, but whenever we went to Anniston, Alabama at Fort McClellan, that's like a decommissioned military base. And so it's not in like pristine shape, but that's what kind of makes it cooler. And me and the crew from Amped Airsoft, like Airsoft Brittany, all of them, we were running around with them, and we all had night vision and stuff. And it was unfair because we were just rolling through, because we were on the green team this time. And like the same thing, I was on the offensive end of what I got at the Guardian Center.
Yeah.
So it was super fun. It's super unbalanced. I'm thinking about going back to the Guardian Center this December. Third
What
Coast
was this
Airsoft
other
is
one
having
called?
dude, what's a Fort McClellan. And it is now, some comedian bought it, and I'm blanking on his name right now. And he was literally driving around the place on a tour bus while the airsoft event was happening.
No way.
I swear.
What?
Yeah. Um,
Let's see if we can find it.
he talked to Dave Chappelle. That's
Decommissioned
who it is.
Army.
Dave
Okay.
Chappelle
And
bought it.
who?
I think it was Dave Chappelle. I think.
No way.
I don't quote me on
Why
that.
would
But
he buy that?
I well
That's crazy.
hold on,
Okay.
just kidding. I told you wrong. It was
No.
Cat Williams. That's who it was.
Really?
Yeah. And
Okay, I
so
could see him buying it,
yeah, and so people
actually.
were talking to him, and he was like, "Why did you buy this?" And he said, "I had so much money, I didn't know what to do with it, and I wanted to come explore."
Well, that might be true. But also, Cat Williams is a smart dude.
Yeah.
And
I
he
mean,
understands what's going on with the world right now.
right.
And this okay. So that's all I'll say about that. But yeah, okay. So he's kind of like prepping, because that is he Cat Williams has talked about government control kind of thing in the past in some of
Right.
his comedy events, but okay.
And so
So they have
Anniston, Anniston's in it's in a really cool spot. There's
yeah.
not a whole lot to do in the actual town. Anniston is right about halfway in between Birmingham, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. So it's
Oh,
almost on the
okay.
border. It's about an hour and a half out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah,
If you're a big college football guy.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah,
Which
so
I am. Yeah, I love my whole family. We all we watch college football and NFL.
right.
We love football, so yep.
So yeah, all the buildings there pretty much looked the same. They were like these kind of like big gray concrete buildings. None of those are really good pictures. If you scroll up just a little bit, you were right by one. Yeah, to the right of where your cursor's at. Yeah, that one. That's what the whole place looks like. And it
Really,
is it is unreal. Like
it looks like an abandoned prison, bro.
it is sick for sure. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this place is absolutely amazing. So
That's cool.
yeah, I
I think
was
it's so cool, man, that you are you're so young and you've experienced all this kind of stuff
yeah, and
because of
it,
airsoft.
right. Yeah, that's the thing is I'm at a point now where I'm like, oh, I'm going on a trip somewhere. Where can I airsoft? What's the local fields like? Um my
That's what's
sister
cool.
my sister goes to the University of Alabama, and so I was like, all right, I'll come visit you. What's the local airsoft looking like? So I'm
Right.
working on a video now where we played at Ridgeline Airsoft in Springville, Alabama. Like
Nice.
yeah, so thinking about going to Mexico later this year. Where's the airsoft there? That's going to be a little bit harder to go through like TSA
Yeah.
and be like, this is not real. Like, please don't. But yeah, so um, later this
Right.
year going to like I said, Six Flags, and that's going to be unbelievable. Um, then we got in October going to Gatlinburg. So
Yeah.
and it's definitely really cool that my dad, he's really into like cinematography and photography. And so I drag him out there. You know, he's getting behind me, and all the stuff that misses me is hitting him. He's like shaking the camera. He's like, ow, ow. But it is really cool that he likes it. You know, um, he knows that like I'm not doing drugs, so like at least I have
Yeah.
like a somewhat productive hobby where I'm not just like sitting around all day. Um, so
Yeah, for sure, man. And by the
yeah,
way, as parents, I'm a parent with
right,
5 kids, and most parents I've talked with, this is we're not so concerned with our kids doing drugs or drinking as much as being productive in life. Like that
right,
is, and it's not because we want you to be productive for society. It's because we know that what is good for you and for us, by the way, is being productive.
right,
That's what makes you feel fulfilled and have a purpose. So whatever it is that makes you feel productive, do that, right? As
right.
long as you're passionate about something. So I'm sure your dad is fine with if you're passionate about airsoft, like, dude, go for it. I'll
Right.
be there with you, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good parent.
Yeah, and that's like he went out and he one of my first times when I went with my sister's friend's dad, he was like, "All right, I used to play paintball because he did the same thing as I did." He was like, "All right, all of they all had like family games. It was like one Thanksgiving, they all got like spring paintball guns. But then a few of them were like my dad was like older than all of them. So they like were still like mom's credit card. Let me get the cool paintball guns. And he's still out there with the Springer. And he's like, well, here's the deal. I mean, I have real life to deal with. I can't justify blowing all my money on a semi-automatic paintball gun.
That's how I was.
So,
Yep.
so he's like, all right, well, I mean, you guys have fun with that. I mean, I got to go live my life. Um,
Yeah.
so, but he went out there and he was just like, you know, that was fun, but like I really like taking pictures more. And I get that. I mean, sometimes
That's
I'll
cool.
ditch the gun in my field. Admin Airsoft, he's been talking about that forever. He's like, put down your gun, go take pictures for a game. There's nobody that's gonna say don't take my picture. Like,
Oh,
um,
no.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, and I that's one of the things he's passed down for me, and it helps because when he has a passion for something, and like so I'm definitely blessed to have all that, not only like the personal camera gear that I have, like these GoPros and scope cams, but he has like a DSLR camera. We have a drone, so I have a lot more options to get creative with.
Yeah.
Um, and now I will say I'm a much better drone pilot than him. He's crashed it quite a few times here. Um,
Oh shit. Sorry, Dad.
yeah,
He's
sorry,
calling you
Dad.
out. Okay.
I
He's
mean,
calling you out.
my flex is I've only crashed it one time and it wasn't my fault.
Oh
It
shit. It
yeah,
was the wind.
it's actually well no, it lost connection and it's actually in one of my YouTube videos.
What is it?
But for some I mean it kept recording, but yeah, the drone went down quick.
Let's see it. Which one?
It's the one with that says this field is massive. That was the day I met it's the middle row left side. Um this field is massive, Bing Field. Yeah, I actually got to meet Brim that day, and so you can see the drone shots. And I crash
Dude,
it
that's
at
beautiful.
like, I
That's
crash
so
it at
pretty.
right around the 5 minute mark. Um,
That's such a pretty view though.
yeah, I mean, so there we go. There's Brim doing his thing.
No way.
Yeah,
Did it crash on his head? Holy
no,
shit.
no, no. You'll see where it all went wrong. You can see what the idea was, and then you can see where how it went south. Here we go. And you can tell right about where it loses connection, right about there. And when it starts to go
Oh,
back up.
oh my God. Oh, that's great. I think it's cool that you left it in the video, bro.
I mean, you know, I thought it was funny, and my gun wasn't really working that well that day, so that was about the most of the content I got. Um, so
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool though.
yeah. So
Okay.
but and that like that day was super fun. You know, I got to meet Brim, and that dude. I mean, we've talked about it before. That he's a super genuine dude. He
Yeah.
loves the game. He's making content in a really cool way. The airsoft the ammo counter that he does, I've never seen done before. I've never
Bro,
seen anybody else doing that. Um,
that has got, well, from editing your own videos, how much effort that is.
yeah,
Holy shit.
And so that's the thing. So me and Brim, we talk quite a bit. We exchange Discord messages and stuff. And when I first started talking to him, I was like, all right, bro, level with me. That's got to be AI or something. There's no way. And he said, nope, I'll sit there. He said
Oh,
that
manual.
he said that adds like an extra 3 hours depending on the video. And I was like,
Yes.
I didn't realize he actually ticks each button like per shot. I'm like, dude, that is a next level dedication. That I am
Dude.
not sitting there for that long. If
Yeah.
I see something like that, it's gonna make me mad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did he do that? Like, so like
Yeah.
somebody like me and somebody can watch the video, and I can't just enjoy a video anymore. Now that I've been making it, it's like I gotta know how this, that, and the other was done. I gotta know the theatrics
Yeah.
behind it. Like,
Welcome to content creator world.
yeah, man.
It never turns off, bro.
Oh
Once you
no,
once you
yeah,
make that choice,
yeah,
like you really do, you separate yourself from the other people that are just viewers. Like
right.
I'm sure you have a bunch of friends that are totally content with just scrolling through and watching videos.
Right.
But once you become a creator, it never shuts off, bro.
Yeah. There's a zero off switch.
There's
You're
always a
absolutely right.
pull to create.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, what else you got coming up this year? What are you excited about for your are you got new guns or kit or gear that you're looking forward to getting or modding? Is there a new event you're coming, looking to go to? What do you got going on?
Like I kind of mentioned, so I got Six Flags. I'm gonna hit up
Yeah.
Gatlinburg. And I don't know, I saw there's an indoor and an outdoor field there, so I'll probably hit up the outdoor one. It's called Sweetwater Airsoft. I've seen there's a
Oh yeah,
semi-big YouTuber that plays there. His name is Sweetwater Snake. You may or may not have heard of him.
I
But
have.
he makes some cool stuff. And I've seen the field, and it looks pretty similar to my home field, so I'm excited for that. Um, Potentially Guardian Center in December, which because the last airsoft event at Iron Horse was in June, and Georgia in June does not seem very appealing to me. Um, because it was like perfect temperature in February where we went, and like it was still getting a little warm. So I think
That's
December should be pretty
crazy,
good.
bro.
Yeah, man, it's Georgia's
Uh-huh.
another breed.
So
Um,
crazy. Yeah.
New guns. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna ride this one out as long as I can.
Good.
I'm working on my Crytek. I'm really deciding what I want to do with it. If I want to keep it AEG or go HPA, I really haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Um, but new gear. I mean, I'm probably just gonna keep it basic. I mean, I'm probably gonna buy a real Cry JPC here,
Yeah.
and then get some training plates because my future probably will include the military. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So
Okay. Okay.
I'm looking to do ROTC. Like I said, I'm a senior in high school right now. So
Yep.
next year maybe ROTC, and then my goal is to be in the Ranger Regiment. So
Ooh,
yeah,
there you go.
and so I got to get I'm gonna have to really like get in shape. I've been talking to some of my I've been blessed because some of my buddies who are a few years older than me, like I have a buddy in airborne school right now, and they're kind of talking about what they've done. And
Okay.
like I know some dudes trying to do green beret stuff. So
Yeah.
it's definitely cool. And YouTube's a killer resource. Not even, and that's just a general rule. I mean,
Oh, it
everything's
really
on
is.
YouTube. Um,
Oh, it's
so
great. It's a great resource.
yeah, so like what I need to be doing,
Okay.
rucking, running, swimming, just everything. Like I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
like transform my body. I gotta be an absolute freak whenever I go into that.
Oh,
So
for sure. Yeah. Reach out to go on. I don't know if you get on Facebook at all. I don't use Facebook too much. I mean, I post my videos on there and stuff, but
right,
for communication and stuff and
right.
posting. But if you go on Find Rooster,
Okay.
I've had him on the podcast not long ago, so it's pretty recent. And Sergeant Major Green. Now, Sergeant Major Green is his character, but he was in the Army Special Forces for 20 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, uh, he's a wild character on my video. But he's playing a role, just so
Right.
you know. So if you see that and you think, oh, he's wacko, whatever, he's a legit dude. Okay, I've
Right.
talked to him personally. He's a legit dude. A lot of experience. So if you want tips on going into Ranger
Right.
or Spec Ops in the Army, those guys have a lot of knowledge
Right.
and they're very approachable. Okay.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Check
And
them out.
that's another thing that I've been super thankful for the airsoft community is like I said, my sister's friend's dad, that even the guy that got me into it, he's
Right.
ex-military, and there's tons of people that are ex-military, and I've even heard of some dudes were over there to like I know a guy at my field, and he was like, I play airsoft so I can get over my PTSD. I want grenades thrown at me, like.
Yeah.
And even something as small as that, like something that no one else is gonna like have a big deal about. Like this dude's battling so much bigger than anybody has an idea of.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm not gonna say I'm like hard. Like I'll literally see a grenade be thrown and then still flinch when it goes off. But hey man, those tag-ins are scary. Those things are loud.
I'm saying now,
But I
but
gotta say, I've been very very thankful. I mean, like you saw, I was not scared of anything like public speaking wise. I was making cringy YouTube videos when I was super young, so I gotta say, thankfully that is not something I've been scared of. Like I'll
oh,
go
that's
say
good.
something stupid, like like I if as long as I like trick myself and I'm like it'll be funny, then it's fine. But it's
Yeah.
like that. My buddies will get me to say the stupidest stuff at the stupidest time, but it's like whatever. I really like the airsoft cam man does, and it's obviously much easier if you're a ghillie sniper or something where you're not running around all the time. But
Yeah.
like he's talking almost like constantly throughout the video. He's like, "Oh, I see guys over there. This is what's going on," and that's really admirable. Like I've been trying to do that in my stuff, like actually talk while I'm playing, but
Yeah.
I'm just like sprinting across the field, I'm like like I'm out of breath, like it's so much going on.
For
For my
real.
play style at least. And I obviously it would be a lot easier if you're like literally just laying there. But yeah, so
Well,
I really
dude,
enjoy his stuff.
tell everybody where they can find all your stuff.
All right.
I really
So
appreciate you being on here.
yeah, well, like I said, thank you so much for having me. I mean, you've had all my friends, so like I said, I thought it only made sense. My YouTube, like he pulled up, it's just Howie TV. Capital H, capital TV if you have a problem finding me. And then I also am on Rumble, same name. Instagram, if you can even find it, my stuff gets like absolutely destroyed.
Oh, dude, I'll
Um,
post all these links, man. We'll help you. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
YouTube or my Instagram is underscore Howie TV. And so it basically just Howie TV, and you should be able to find it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the deal. But
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I really appreciate you having me on, and not even just me, but like giving all these players around the country and the world actually an outlet to kind of get a brighter audience, and yeah, and just really meet them and talk to
No,
them.
thank you, dude. I'm honored to have you on. I appreciate how mature you are for your age, dude. No, for
Thank you
real.
so much. That means a
Yeah,
lot. I appreciate
absolutely,
that.
man. It's I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it. So uh it's important because there's a lot of younger people out there that don't have a good role model. And it's uh, it's important to me, and it's important to me to have good people on here that can be role models, and you're one of them. So thank you so much. And yeah, shout out to the sponsors of this episode, Skirmish and Jackal Tactical. So good luck in your future. If it involves military, good luck in boot camp. Okay.
Thank you so much, man. Well, have a great night.